friends, and welcome into Gamecock Central Radio. Emerson Phillips joined by Gamecock great Joe Rhett. South Carolina coming off a 70-63 loss to 10th-ranked Texas Tech in the SEC Big 12 shootout on Saturday at the Colonial Life Arena. And, Joe, the Gamecocks are now 13-8 overall, 4-4 in the SEC. Texas Tech improves to 17-4. They were ranked 14th in the country last week, and they jump up to number 10 in the new polls that are out this week. So, tough loss for the Gamecocks, Joe. You know, Carolina trailed much of the first half, put together a nice run early in the second half, and took a 5-point lead. But Texas Tech closed the game on a 17-5 run, and they got a huge game from Keenan Evans, Joe, to beat the Gamecocks 70-63. So, you know, chance for the Gamecocks to beat another nationally ranked opponent, but they let it get through their hands against a good Texas Tech team Saturday.
Oh, they're a very good team, a very good disciplined team. None that we haven't seen before, because SEC presents a lot of tough defensive teams in the SEC, so it wasn't nothing new. It was just a typical, being disciplined on offense, being disciplined on defense, and just making shots. And you look at the first half, man. I think we only made 9 field goals, but we had 10 turnovers in the first half, and you can't beat good teams like that. And to have a ratio like that, 9 field goals and 10 turnovers, and only down 4 at half. It would have been down 1, but we made a boneheaded foul towards the end, and the guy got 3 shots and put them up 4. And it was a tough loss. It was a great atmosphere. The crowd was very energized. They were into the game, and we gave ourselves a chance. We haven't been blown out much this year. It's only a few games outside of Temple and a couple other games that we got blown out. But this Texas Tech, they just had a guard that took us out of it. He made Keenan Evans, like I said, he had 31 points. He made some big baskets. He put a lot of pressure on Wesley Myers and Gravitt. Those two guys were in foul trouble, and trying to stop a guy like that, it kind of somewhat took them out of their offense. So we didn't get a lot of offense outside of our 2-point guards. But there's a couple of key points that I did see in the game that I was happy to see. Silver played. He played pretty good. He was excited. He was energized. And one point in the game that really got me excited was when he ran on the court several times and didn't get a look. And I think it was going towards a timeout. I don't know if it was Booker or Mania. One of the times he ran on the court and didn't get the ball. And I like to see the way he got in their face, EP. He got in there and said, man, give me the ball. I'm running the floor. I'm busting my butt on defense. You know, he's protecting the rim. He's playing defense. And when a big guy runs the floor, you have to reward him. He has to get his touches, and he didn't get enough touches the other night. And I like to see that now he's the man. He knows this is his team, and he's demanding the ball. But outside of that, another tough loss. We're in these games, Emerson. We are in these games every night, and somehow somebody has to step up and be that top dog to pull us through some of these close games.
The Gamecocks got 29 minutes from Chris Silva, 16 points, 5 boards, and 2 steals for Silva. Justin Mania and Felipe Hasse also in double figures for the Gamecocks with 11 points. Frank Booker had 9. That intentional foul call on Booker late in the ball game was a key play. But really, Joe, the story in this game was Keenan Evans, 7 of 12 from the floor, 4 of 6 from 3, 13 of 13 at the line, 31 points in 35 minutes for Evans, and he hit that huge 3 late in the ball game when Texas Tech was down 2. So a 17-5 run by Texas Tech after Carolina had taken a 5-point lead with about 5 minutes left in the ball game, and Evans just took over. So hats off to Texas Tech.
No doubt. You could tell he was a poised guy. I believe that he was a senior, and he did pretty much whatever he wanted. And his baskets were so timely whenever we made a run, whenever we missed free throws, or whenever we didn't box out. He always came up with a big basket, either three-pointer or driving to the basket. So hats off to that kid. He played a tremendous game. That's why he's one of the top players in the Big 12. And he was just a tough guy. He put a lot of pressure on our guards the other night. So good game for him, but, we have to bounce back and put that in our rearview mirror.
A crowd of 14,142 watched Texas Tech beat South Carolina 70-63. And, Joe, I thought it was ironic. It was interesting that Texas Tech beat Carolina by the same score that Tennessee did 1 week prior at the CLA. 70-63 was the final in both games, and I thought both games were very similar.
I agree with you on that. That's so ironic, the same exact score. And in several situations throughout the game, we didn't shoot the ball well. Again, we shot, I think, 37% from the field goal and 19 from three, where we previously shot so well the other night. And I keep saying we have to be more consistent. We have to shoot a lot better. If we shot the ball better the other night, we'd have easily won. I truly believe that, because we took the lead in the game. But so many similar situations from the Tennessee game, just missed box outs, didn't make free throws at the end of the game. That caused us the game the other night against Tennessee. Just little things that we have to capitalize on, because we're not the most talented team each night. Outside of Vandy and probably Mississippi State, we're not the most talented, but we play tremendously hard, and our defense always keeps us in ball games.
Joe, the SEC won the Big 12 SEC Challenge for the first time ever. The SEC won 6 of the 10 matchups this weekend. I don't know if you got a chance to see any of the other games involving the other teams in the two leagues play, but Kentucky won at West Virginia. That surprised a lot of people, and the SEC won this challenge for the first time ever. So it's some proof or some ammunition to folks who are saying that the SEC is one of the best leagues in college basketball this year.
Yeah, that was a surprise. That was surprising to me. That was the first time that we beat those guys in this little tournament so far. But again, yes, the Kentucky game was a surprise against West Virginia. Also, Alabama, who at the beginning of the season, we knew that it was going to be a really good team. They beat a real good Oklahoma team. They put a lot of pressure on the sensational freshman that they got out there called Trae Young. He's like, everybody thinks he's the new Steph Curry, but Alabama made it very, very tough for him the other night, and that was another big win for the SEC. So the SEC is coming along, man. I keep telling you about we got a lot of talent coming in, and in my opinion, the main thing is the coaching. You got Avery Johnson down at Alabama, of course. We got Frank Martin here, and Bruce Pearl down at Auburn. And this upcoming game that we're going to talk about in a few minutes is Mississippi State with Ben Holland, who has a track history from coaching at Pittsburgh. He went to UCLA and had some success there. Now he's at Mississippi State now. So we got some well-known coaches here in the SEC, and that was the problem in the past couple of years, before these coaches got here. But now with the coaching and the talent and recruiting that we're getting now, the SEC is really stepping up this year.
All right, an opportunity lost for the Gamecocks on Saturday. They were facing their fourth straight nationally ranked opponent and had a chance to beat, the 14th ranked team in the country at home. Had a 5-point lead late, but Texas Tech took the ball game over. So Tech wins it, and the Gamecocks are now 13-8 overall. But we're back into SEC play the rest of the way now, Joe. The Gamecocks have 10 games left in the regular season. That'll be before the start of the SEC tournament. And at 4-4 in the league, Joe, we've heard talk that as many as 8 or 9 SEC teams could get into the NCAA tournament. The latest estimate that I've heard is that 7 will get in. And opinions vary depending on the college basketball expert that you talk to. So we don't know exactly how many SEC teams are going to get in at this point. But, Joe, the Gamecocks clearly have got to do some work. They've got to try to separate themselves from this pack of teams that are bunched up in the middle of the SEC standings right now. Auburn 7-1, alone in first. Florida's a game back at 6-2. And then you have Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama at 5-3. South Carolina, Arkansas, Ole Miss are 4-4. And it's Mississippi State, Missouri, LSU, and Georgia at 3-5. A&M and Vandy bringing up the rear at 2-6. But even the teams in the bottom half of the standings, Joe, could still play their way into the NCAA tournament. So before the podcast started today, I asked you how many conference wins do you think the Gamecocks are going to have to get back into the tournament this year? And you said 500 plus a couple of wins in the tournament, Joe?
Yes. With the resume that we have, we have some tough losses down the stretch. We're not too bad teams. We lost to some ranked teams. And we got some good wins against Kentucky, and we got a good win against Florida, who were ranked at the time. So the resume is there, and the schedule is there for us. We still got 2 games against Auburn. We've got a lot of games left. We still 10 games left in the conference. And I believe, we still have a good chance if we go 500. I think we could do better than that. We just polish up on some of the little things that we need to do to finish out these games. We're there. Again, I'm just amazed at how we are so in these games and shooting so bad in different times in the game. And that's just all about coaching. Frank is really coaching these guys and putting these guys in good situations. And these guys are making shots sometimes at a certain time to keep themselves in the game. But as far as the league, we just need to handle our business, and it starts tomorrow on Wednesday night against Mississippi State. Game especially that we have at home. We need to handle our business. We need to pull these wins because there's so many teams right now that's in the bubble. It's that time. This is it. You got some of these teams that are out here that transferred, and this is it for them. Some of them probably won't have a post college career. So some of those guys need to put that in the back of their mind. They're like, hey, this is it. Let's lay it all on the line. Let's get this USC team back in the tournament now. We can go at least 500. That'll be tough, but again, if we do go 500, we probably would need to win a couple games in the SEC tournament, or possibly win it. You never know. That's just the way things go right now. But we just need just to hang in there right now.
The Gamecocks will host Mississippi State on Wednesday night. We've got an 8:30 tip on the SEC Network at Colonial Life. Mississippi State will come in with a 15-6 overall record. They're 3-5 in the league. Joe, they had lost 5 of 7 until they beat Missouri by 12 in a Mississippi State home game over the weekend. So Mississippi State is on the Gamecocks schedule twice the rest of the way. We got 10 games left, 2 of them against Mississippi State. This is a team that's 3-5 in the league right now. And you look at 2 matchups with Auburn. The Gamecocks still have to host Florida. They still have to travel to Tennessee. So we got some ranked opponents left on the schedule, and a game like Wednesday night's home game against Mississippi State, very important.
Very, very important. And this is an up-and-coming team, I believe. This is, again, Ben Howland's third year. I think this team will be much better. And Starkville, Mississippi State, that's a tough place to recruit as far as the basketball. But they're a tough team. They've been tough out. They've had some tough games as well. And they got another guard that we're going to have to be challenged by on Wednesday night. His name is Quindary Weatherspoon. I think he's averaged about 15 points, 6 rebounds, and about 4 assists. So he obviously is their glue guy. He's their everything to their team. So he's a junior, about 6'4". So, again, Weston Myers and Gravett, they're going to have their hands full. So they'll have to step up and, be able to slow this guy down and stop him from doing some of the things. And also, on the other side, offensively, those 2 guys are going to have to make shots again. So like they did previously, the shot's not going to be on every night, but one of the 2 have to play extremely well. So, again, the Mississippi State should be it's going to be tough, but I think this is a must. And I wouldn't put it like that. It's a must win, but for us to be in contention, we do need to just handle our business against a team that, that we should win against.
Yeah, it looks like with the 10 games left that this is one the Gamecocks have really got to have when you consider Auburn twice and nationally ranked opponents in Florida and Tennessee still on the schedule. Home game against Mississippi State is one the Gamecocks will have to have. So after the Bulldogs on Wednesday, Joe, the Gamecocks go to Texas A&M. An incredible disappointment Texas A&M has been this year, but that team's got talent. Long road trip for the Gamecocks. That will probably not be easy. And then the Gamecocks head to Arkansas, and Arkansas is always a very difficult place to go win. Then the Gamecocks host Florida, and then they travel to Tennessee. So another tough stretch of games coming up. 11th ranked Auburn on the schedule after that. So, very important to take care of these games, playing at home against a team that's not nationally ranked, because the Gamecocks are going to see some very good teams coming up in the month of February. So you feel like this is a critical ball game for South Carolina Wednesday night. Again, an 8:30 tip. It'll be on the SEC Network, and a chance for the Gamecocks to get to over 500 in the league. Joe, wasn't that long ago? The Gamecocks were 1-3 in league play.
It wasn't that long, and it's good to see the maturation of this team. We were a little down on them early on, but this team fought. They kept, believing in themselves, and again, it was some close games that we should have won. Just finishing those games out will be a different right now.
So it's South Carolina and Mississippi State coming up on Wednesday night, and then the Gamecocks will have 2 consecutive road games at Texas A&M on Saturday, and then a Tuesday night game at Arkansas. So quick turnaround for the trip to Arkansas, and then Saturday against Florida, and the following Tuesday at Tennessee. So a couple Tuesday night midweek games coming up here for the Gamecocks. So, Joe, we're getting down to crunch time now. The Mississippi State game will be on January the 31st, and then we're into the month of February. And this is when you got to do work. If you're going to get in a tournament, if you want to be a legitimate threat in the NCAA tournament, postseason basketball is what it's all about. And the month of February will go a long way toward determining what the Gamecocks are going to be able to do this year.
Absolutely, and that's what the NCAA tournament, that's what they're looking at. They want to see teams getting hot towards the end of the year. Are they trending upward? Are they playing good basketball? You can have some good wins throughout the year, but are you hot? Are you getting hot at the right time? And that's what those guys are looking at. So with these 10 games left that I believe that are winnable, we just go out there and handle our business and try to play the way we can and get hot. We can just, we're in every game. All we just need to get hot and make some shots, and the sky will be the limit for this team. So starting with Mississippi State on Wednesday night, we go out there and get above 500 again and have this tough stretch. Prior to this stretch we're about to come up now, we didn't think we'd be 3-2 out of this stretch, this tough stretch against Florida and all those Kentucky games. So, hey, it can be done. It can be done. I know those guys down there working and doing what they need to do to try to, shore up some of the small things, the fouls, the missing free throws. So if we could do the little things that we need to do, we can win some more ball games. We'll be above 500 the last 10 games.
8:30 tip Wednesday night at Colonial Life. It'll be on the SEC Network, South Carolina and Mississippi State, key game in the SEC. And Joe Rhett, Gamecock Great, is my partner each week here on Gamecock Central Radio. Good talk today, Joe. We'll do it again soon. Thanks very much.
Thank you, my man.
That's Joe Rhett, and I'm Emerson Phillips, and this is Gamecock Central Radio. Thanks for joining us.